Audible's romance collection has something to satisfy every side of you. When it comes to what kind of romance you're into, you don't have to choose just one. Fancy a dalliance with a duke, or maybe a steamy billionaire. You could find a book boyfriend in the city and another one tearing it up on the hockey field. And if nothing on this earth satisfies, you can always find love in another realm. Discover modern rom-coms from authors like Lily Chu and Ali Hazelwood, the latest romantasy series from Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros, plus Regency favorites like Bridgerton and Outlander. And of course, all the really steamy stuff. Your first great love story is free when you sign up for a free 30-day trial at audible.com/Wondery. That's audible.com/Wondery.
If you're shopping while working, eating, or even listening to this podcast, then you know and love the thrill of a deal. But are you getting the deal and cash back? Rakuten shoppers do. They get the brands they love, savings, and cash back. And you can get it too. Start getting cash back at your favorite stores like Target, Sephora, and even Expedia. Stack sales on top of cash back and feel what it's like to know you're maximizing the savings. It's easy to use, and you get your cash back sent to you through PayPal or check. The idea is simple. Stores pay Rakuten for sending them shoppers, and Rakuten shares the money with you as cash back. Download the free Rakuten app or go to Rakuten.com to start saving today. It's the most rewarding way to shop. That's RAKUTEN. Rakuten.com.
Don't ask me to talk. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk. We are your podcast pals, your conversational kids, your off-roading conversationalist people. How'd I do? And I'm Stacy Heller, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Eric Ryder, yes.
This is why you always do the intro.
Wait a minute.
Like, you have it down.
Yes.
And it's always at the last minute.
I kind of foisted it on you last minute, but I was just thinking, I've done the intro for weeks and weeks, and partly because we're doing the show from home and not in the studio, so it's a little bit harder for you to know exactly where to jump in. So I was taking on that responsibility. But now that you're in the studio, you could hear the theme music easier. But
yeah.
But you're out of practice.
I'm out of practice,
Yeah.
and also you have that, I don't know, that way of bringing it all together and being like, hey, everybody. And I'm just like, hey, everybody. Like I have big clown feet.
Well, there's something to be said for that, dude.
It's so
Are
charming.
you not entertained?
Exactly.
Anyway, yes, indeed. I am Eric Ryder. That is Stacy Heller. We're your podcast pals. This is a show called Don't Ask Me to Talk, where we are conversational off-roaders. We never met a tangent we didn't like. And we
all the things
explore
I said.
every side of everything that we talk about. We're not afraid to go there when something, clicks in our brains.
Yep.
Just be prepared to end up somewhere entirely different than where we started. And we've been doing this show for a while and having a lot of fun, and hopefully you are also having a lot of fun. If you like the show, please rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. It really helps get the word out, and that's desperately what we need is people to spread the word about Don't Ask Me to Talk.
Totally.
Yep.
And we'd love feedback. I mean, yes, you can review. Again, we do promise that if we get reviews, we will share them. You can have your 15 seconds of fame. We will talk about you.
That's right.
You talk about us, we talk about you. It's the New Yorker in me.
In a friendly way.
In a friendly way, of course.
You
of
make
course.
it sound kind of menacing.
Well, a little bit of both.
Yeah. How's your week been?
Well, okay. Thank you for asking, first. Second, remember how last week, which, hey, listener, if you don't remember, go back and listen to the episode. I was talking about reentry and how, as I'm been unpacking all these things, which I am now fully unpacked, I have a lot of garbage bags to give away, but I digress. It's causing me to go through things. Well, so many piles of stuff. And then the other thing is we're talking about selling the house in the next 6 months, right?
Yeah.
So hear me out. Wouldn't it be fun if
I'm not sure I like where this is headed, but okay, go ahead.
You sound like Pete. Wouldn't it be fun if Pete and I did a cute little social media moment and we called it something like emptying the nest, or maybe it's like jettisoning-ish from the nest? Because the conversations that we have about like when I'm going through something and the things that I want to hold on to and the things that he just wants to get rid of, it is the epitome of probably every relationship that's lasted longer than 5 years. Because I'm like, let's clean out this drawer. And I start going through things, and let's say the utensil drawer. And he's like, do we really need 75 small spoons? Now, mind you, these aren't like the teaspoons. These are like the little spoons that you can use for like dips and spreads and like whatever. And I'm like, well, let's go through them. And so then we go through them. And I have a reason for why we need like 73 of them. And I'm like, look, I got rid of 2. And so it's just
progress,
right? Come
Ta-da!
on. I'm like, look at me. And then what's funny is that our daughter is like, well, I like those spoons, but I'm living at home. So let me just put them back in the drawer and add my 15 to it. So then we're up to 90 spoons. I think it could be really helpful for people to hear the dialogue between the two of us as we're emptying the nest. Like, it's one thing to get rid of the kids, which, you know, we're getting closer and closer to doing. Charlie got a job offer. He'll be moving to California. Oh.
Congratulations to him.
Yes.
And you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well deserved.
Yeah.
Very excited for him. I mean, you know, your first like real adult job. He's going to actually have to figure out how to cook. So
it sounds like a pretty cool job too. So,
yeah. I think that's going to be great. And so I end up getting either frustrated or I'm laughing hysterically because of the dialogue that the two of us are having. So, I mean, come on, Stranger Things have taken root on social media, right?
Right.
So,
I was just trying to come up with a riff based on you saying Stranger Things. Like maybe you could just put all that stuff in the Upside Down or whatever. But
okay.
Yeah, it never really came together in a funny way. It just
okay. Well, yeah.
But yeah, that sounds like fun.
I mean, it seems like a lot of work. I'd have to do camera work.
Right.
Like there is that. Although I might as well take advantage while the kids are still home and be like, hey, you have to be our camera person. We have to clean the entire house out before you move.
Earn your keep.
Yeah. I mean, for God's sakes, this is why people had children back in the day, so that there would be many hands to make work light. Okay.
I'm always trying to involve Gertie in stuff like this. And it never pays off. So I imagine the kids are a similar situation.
Well, pretty much. Although the kids have thumbs.
Well, fair enough.
So there's that. Okay. The other thing that I did is I went to a silent book club.
So you just sit in a room and read? Is that it?
So I had never heard about this. And Annie and
I've heard of a silent disco before.
Yep. And I've heard of Silent Library, which was an old show that was quite funny.
Never heard of that.
Are you kidding?
What?
It's so amazing.
Is this a cultural blind spot that other people
Yes. It was like a game show of sorts where like a bunch of buddies were in a library and they were given tasks and they had to like not go above a certain like decibel for sound. Otherwise they were out or something. It was hysterical. Okay, I'll send you a link. Please,
somebody out there in the world, tell me if you've heard of this show, because I don't think it's as well known as you think it is.
Okay. Whatever. The Try Guys even did an episode of doing Silent Library.
Okay.
I mean, come on. Whatever. Okay. Back to
If it's good enough for the Try Guys, it's got to be good enough for me.
Don't you say something about the Try Guys. I love my Try Guys. So Silent Book Club. So Annie invited me to go with her. She has been to a couple of these. I guess there are like different, what's the word I'm looking for? groups.
Again, what is the concept of this? People just sitting around reading? Isn't that a library?
Be patient. I'm getting there. So then,
You're killing me.
So this was the Issaquah group, and you met at. I know I'm gonna get there. Stop stretching your neck with frustration. I'm building up excitement. You arrive at Formula Brewing, and they had some tables set out.
Just making a marker so I know where to cut and edit.
Okay. And for the first half hour, you mix and mingle. Everybody gets settled, get a drink, get some food. So obviously there's a mutual interest in books. Then for an hour, everyone reads silently.
So exactly what I just said.
Yeah, but like that would have been so boring.
It sounds boring.
Not if you like to read.
Slice it.
No, not if you like to read.
And how is this better than me at home before bed reading a chapter?
Because it's helping small businesses.
Of the latest post-punk memoir
Are you still reading that?
Yes.
Jeez. You know what? If you had some quiet time to read in a silent book
I'm
club,
not a fast reader.
Oh, okay. Well, I think the idea is that at the beginning, at the start, and at the end, you're bookended. See what I did there? By opportunities to be social and to share what you're reading and that kind of thing. And then you have some time that maybe you don't normally get to go out and actually like be undisturbed. Like everybody in that area is reading quietly. And then it's also good for whatever business you choose to have the meeting at.
Sure.
So it's a win-win for everybody. Also, they had stickers. And like there was mostly women there. And I got to tell you, women love stickers. We love stickers. It's just a thing. So it was fun.
Cool. I'm glad you had a good time.
All right. And then my last thing is I have unlocked yet another artistic medium. You know how I go through phases and stages? I'm currently in my alcohol ink stage.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, it's super easy. It's idiot proof. Like I just started doing it. You drip or you drop alcohol ink, which is a medium, directly onto glass. And it starts to create patterns and it spreads and kind of shifts and moves. And the next thing you know, ba-blam, you have a stunning piece of artwork. Well, I suppose stunning is like subjective. I'm gonna text you from across the studio what I did, and you're gonna be like, yes, that is indeed stunning. Very
cool. Well, I look forward to seeing this.
Okay, well, you'll have to wait like 2 seconds. All right. So that's what's new in my life. What's going on in your life?
Oh, it sounds like a good time. I tease, but yeah, anytime you can get out of the house and do something different and fun, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I've made my case for hobbies a couple weeks ago on the show.
Yes.
So, yeah.
See, it's creativity, it's community / connection and world building.
Very nice.
So it was all those things.
Sounds great.
And I got stickers. So, anyway.
I was going to say you could put it on your laptop, but as I see your laptop, I don't think there's room.
Yeah, because what is it covered in?
Covered in stickers. That's right.
There we go.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I like the one that is Jesus and he's like poking his head out on the side and it says, I saw that. I think that's funny.
Yes.
I also have a Jesus card that is on my refrigerator right above where you get the water. And I have him so he's walking on water.
Cute.
All right. Whatever. Tell me about your life.
Oh, let's see. It's been a good week. I always get this tinge of melancholy around this time of year because, it's like summer is packing its bags. We're getting ready for the
nesting.
Fall. I love the fall, but I can't help but always have this like twinge of regret, like, oh, there were so many more things that I should have done this summer, taking advantage of all the, of the sunshine, and did all this stuff. And so inevitably I've got this tinge of melancholy, but I'm powering my way through it.
Wah, wah.
No womps.
I know, but
seriously.
no, I know, but that's sad. That's sad. Why can't you be happy? Look forward to pumpkin spice lattes and scarves and floppy hats.
I didn't say I was unhappy. I am saying I do look forward to fall. I enjoy it, but there's just that teeny twinge. Don't you get that?
Yeah, no, 100%.
Okay. Glad I'm not the only one.
No, you're not. 100%. And I'm trying. Actually, it's cutting closer than I'd like to think because the things that I was supposed to do and didn't get to,
right?
It's a bummer.
Yeah. And also I've got a little trip coming up, and I'm thinking of all the things that I need to do before that too. So it's just a couple weeks of just I really got to get off my butt and do stuff.
And it seems like it ends so suddenly.
Yeah.
And then it's like a sudden end, and then you're just running into the next thing, just at full speed. So anyway. Okay, so you're experiencing the tinge of melancholy.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind as I regale you with this next story.
All right, I see what's happening now.
So, but let me ask you this. Are you friends with your neighbors? You know your neighbors?
No.
Same. That's it. Exactly. I feel like I'm on friendly terms with everybody that I see in the neighborhood, just the kind hello when I see them, but I don't really know the names of anybody. I think I've been introduced to maybe half of them, but as soon as, I say my name, then their name is gone from my mind forevermore. And then I've got a nickname for each of these people.
Right.
But it's
couple with the kids.
That's right. Yes.
And tons of takeout. And crazy lady in the corner. Yes. I have, out of all of the people in my neighborhood, there's 25 houses. I am actively friends with 2 of them.
Now, the thing about that is I remember if they have a dog, what their dog's name is.
Well, naturally.
But I don't remember their names.
So it's Lucky's parents.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yes. So recently I was at home, and it was, I don't know, somewhat near the evening, let's say around 6:00. I had the windows open because it was a warm night. And the girlfriend says to me, "Do you hear that water?" And I'm like, "No, I think that's maybe the neighbor's AC." And she's like, "No, that is water." I'm like, "Okay, I'll go check under the house, see if a rat is eating through a pipe again."
Oh, God.
And so I did, and luckily, no rat. So I go and
what about water?
No water,
okay,
spraying or anything like that.
Good.
Everything was fine. Everything was situation normal at our house. So I'm like, well, she hears the water. I should go outside maybe and check it out. So I go out in the back, and I'm listening, and sure enough, I hear shh, shh. It sounds like a hose on full blast.
Okay.
In somebody's yard.
Or someone blowing a balloon.
Well,
in the
maybe
retelling.
my water impression maybe not as good as I'd hoped it would be.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
That's pretty much all my impressions. Not as good as I'd hoped it would be before I attempted to do that on the pod.
Got it. Okay.
But yeah, so I go outside, and I definitely hear the water, and I kind of triangulate and realize it belongs, the water sound is coming from the backyard of 2 houses down. And these are people that we kind of know from seeing them walk their dog in the neighborhood. So it's it's Lucky. It's Lucky's parents. Yeah, and there's little Lucky. "Hey, Lucky." We say hi to Lucky. We don't
Lucky
say hi.
goes down the stream.
Because he barks at everything.
Right.
So we say hi to him every time we see him. I didn't know their names, or I knew their names at one point, but I blank on it every time I see Lucky. All I think is Lucky. So, and that's not his name, but we're
Right.
just changing the name to protect the innocent.
Of course. Of course. And we are talking about whether we're smart or lucky.
Yes.
So,
right. Exactly.
right.
So I go up and report to the girlfriend. I'm like, no, it's the house 2 doors over. It sounds like they've got like a broken pipe or something, or a hose or something. And she's like, what are you going to go tell them? I'm like, yeah, maybe you want to go tell them. I'm like,
If you see something, you're supposed to say something.
I know, but I don't know them.
So just tell Lucky.
Yeah, well, it's quit jumping ahead.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, if it was me, if it was our house and there was water like blasting in the backyard, I would want somebody to stop by. And this happened to me, actually. One time I was draining a pool, and somebody's like, hey, I hear all this water like rushing in your backyard. Is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I'm draining a pool. But I felt like relieved that a neighbor would reach out and say something, because you never know.
Water is horrible.
It can be quite bad for your foundation.
Yep.
So that's what I'm thinking as I go 2 doors over, and I ring the doorbell, and they've got one of these Ring doorbells. So I'm like suddenly aware, like, oh shoot, I'm on camera, and here I didn't, I didn't dress for the part for the occasion.
I'm not wearing my suit, my visiting clothes.
So I ring the bell, and then all I hear is Lucky run up to the door. Rah, 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 rah. I'm like, hey, Lucky. and so then I'm like, no response. I'm like, sorry to bother you, buddy. And so I'm like, okay, well, I guess they're not home, but Lucky is home. Well, I hope Lucky figures it out. So
you didn't leave a message for Lucky?
Well, hang on.
Okay.
So I'm leaving. And then I get down their steps and down to the sidewalk, and I hear, hello? Hello?
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. So I go back up, and I'm like, oh, hey, I just heard the sound of rushing water in your backyard, and I'm just letting you know in case that's not on purpose. And so that's all. And they're like, who is this? And I'm like, it's your neighbor from 2 doors down. And they're like, okay.
That's so weird.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, anyway, just want to let you know. Okay, bye. And so I go home, and then I'm like, well, that was awkward and uncomfortable, and I wish I hadn't said anything and wish I just minded my own business. So like 3 days go by, and just kind of like, ugh. Well, I tried. That's all you can do. I still hear the rushing water.
Still? Like, has it been constant?
Pretty much, yeah.
Wow.
So a couple days go by, and then I get a knock on the door, and lo and behold, it's Lucky's mom, caretaker, however you want to say it. And she's like, hi, I am so sorry. We were out of town, and the hotel Wi-Fi was being a little awkward, and we got... I was trying to respond to you, and I'm so sorry. I think I came off a little bit rude, and you were trying to help us, and I feel really bad. And I am sorry about that, but thank you so much for being a nice neighbor and looking out for us. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm so glad that everything was okay. She's like, yeah, we have a water feature in the backyard. You should come check it out sometime. And I was like, oh, yeah, would love that. So anyway, I'm glad everything is okay. So, yeah, and I'm sorry I bothered you. Totally didn't know about the water feature. Just wanted to make sure it wasn't like something damaging your foundation or whatever. And she was like, oh, yeah, no, we're so thankful to have a neighbor like you that would, take a chance and reach out and say something. We were just out of town. And the dog sitter was there, but didn't answer the door. And so yeah, anyway, so they're like, so we just wanted to give you this. And they gave me like a thank you card and had a gift card in it.
Wow.
And it was so nice. And I was just like, so I was like, oh, well, thank you very much. And so it was all friendly and good. And then like she left and I realized I bothered them about their water feature in the backyard and they gave me a gift card. And so like I didn't help them in any way. And yet I still benefited from this. So now every time I'm like walking down the street, I hear just constant water features in people's yards. And I think like, maybe I should go knock on the door.
This is lucrative.
And say like, hey, just heard a bunch of water rushing in your backyard. Just wanted you to know, gift card, please. and,
oh my gosh.
and see what happens, because, hey, it could pay off.
I mean, how much did you get and to where?
It was like $25 for Amazon, which is still very helpful.
That's super nice.
Yeah. So super sweet of them, and I still ended up somehow feeling like a jerk out of the thing. But, hey, my next, set of socks or whatever from Amazon are going to be on the house. So,
yeah.
Hey, take a chance.
Well, and, it's good to be a good neighbor.
I think so, yeah. Like I said, I would have wanted somebody to tell me if they heard something concerning, even if it was something completely normal, like
totally
it was in the pool case, So that happened, and very nice neighbors. I'm really glad that they came over because literally for like 3 days I was like, oh, geez,
still going.
This is awkward.
I wonder why it suddenly stood out. Maybe it's because there wasn't noise at the house and with them coming back and forth. I have no idea, but it seemed especially loud that night. And it seemed like Lucky was home by himself and the house was going to flood. Entertaining people at the pool.
Yes.
He had all the over.
Right.
And was like, hey, girls.
Yeah. So anyway, everything turned out well. And but now I've got a side business where I go bother people and ask for gift cards.
There are some amazing videos on social media. There's one guy in particular that clearly his shtick, like my empty nesting thing, is talking through Ring doorbells. Like he talks to his mother. There's one where he's doing ding dong ditch with his son, and the son rings the doorbell and the person's like, hello, and they're like, oh, and the father in the background is like, you're supposed to run, and he's like, Dad, she answered. It's this whole thing, and he's like, sorry, Dad wanted to do ding dong ditch. He says it's like a key or a core childhood memory. And
that's funny, but I feel like this is the preamble to a news story about some guy that gets shot.
Well,
that we're going to be reading.
I mean, there's that
in the newspaper in a month.
Well, the pendulum swings one way or the other.
Right.
So this is the feel good one.
Just like in this country, I feel like I would never take a risk like that anymore.
I know. See, it's so hard.
Yeah. Anyway, on that happy note,
I'm experiencing a tinge of melancholy at the direction that this conversation has gone.
I get it.
So should we take a break?
Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back and we'll get into our cultural blind spots.
Let's do it.
Everybody stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Reiner.
Hey, I'm the other one. I'm Stacy Heller. And I am so glad that you did the intro back in, because I would not have been prepared. And for sure, I would have fumbled the bag.
Well, the important thing is we're here. Everybody's okay. And
there's no water running.
There's no water running. We saw to that. So everything is good. But yeah, this is the segment of the show. We talk about our cultural blind spots. We're talking about big pieces of culture that somehow have escaped our attention for these many years. But we're trying to correct that now by seeing some of these things, reading some of these things, hearing some of these things. And every week we kind of touch on this stuff. And sometimes it's stuff that's big that we may have seen at one point, but we haven't revisited for a long time. And in this week's case, that is true for me, in that I went back and watched for the first time since I was a kid, Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And so I had forgotten the vast majority of it. But I gotta say, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. Good to see once again. I think it holds up pretty well. I mean, the effects look great. The story is fun. And in between, I have watched the movie Chinatown, and I have a much more appreciation for the fact that they really kind of pay homage to the Chinatown story in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but do it in a more family-friendly way. There's no incest stuff in it, for instance.
Right. Right.
But it is...
Hey, incest is best. It's a game the whole family can play.
I'm not touching that. But I'll just say...
It's a joke.
It's surprisingly edgy in some spots.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
It really is.
Yeah. And so I was kind of fascinated by this movie, kind of did a little bit of a deep dive on it. And it turns out that this was, and I don't think I knew this at the time, but it was based on a book called Who Censored Roger Rabbit?
Really?
Yeah. And apparently, Zemeckis and Gale, the people that directed and wrote the film, they got the rights to the book, but basically they just took the character names and then threw out everything else, and came up with their own plot, and kind of came up with their own version of each of the characters.
In the book, were the characters cartoon characters?
Yes, they were.
Okay, so that is also consistent.
Yeah, so the concept is there of animation, of tunes, if you will, living alongside you and I.
Okay.
That's all there, but they changed a lot of stuff, like the way Roger Rabbit looks, like the plot of the story. Some of the things in the original book, I guess, is that the tunes can make a duplicate of themselves to do stunts.
Oh,
whereas,
stunt doubles.
Yeah, they're like little stunt doubles when they just dissolve after 4 hours.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah, I kind of wish I could do that.
I know. I'm I'd like a stunt double.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's not in the movie. In the movie, it's tunes just can't get hurt, really.
Right.
Until the bad guy figures out something that can hurt tunes. And I won't spoil it for anybody that wants to revisit it. But seriously? I would say it's fun and it holds up very well. And I
feel like
thoroughly
they've had
enjoyed
time.
It. Well, that's true. Okay, so
I'm no, just tell, because
the
people
bad
have
guy
time.
played by Christopher Lloyd, which is Judge Doom. He has something called dip that they can dip these tunes into, and it dissolves them. Essentially, it's made of turpentine and stuff, which makes sense because that would remove ink. Essentially,
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so there's a real threat to these characters' lives for the first time ever, and the whole idea is he wants to wipe their neighborhood off the map, Toontown, and so he can build hotels and stuff along the expanding highway, and he also has bought the public transportation system, essentially, so that the people will be forced to adopt the highway system, and so there's all this kind of cool commentary on corporate greed, and about even how how in the 40s we really kind of screwed ourselves by throwing away like existing public transportation infrastructure to just make way for, people sitting in their cars on the freeway.
Yep.
What could go wrong? And
Route 66.
Well, yeah. I mean, look at the traffic in Los Angeles and here for that matter. And yeah, we know what went wrong. So yeah, it's a surprisingly complex, fun movie that's not just for kids. So thumbs up.
Yeah, I remember that movie when it came out and saw it all those years ago. And I remember thinking like, oh, this is not Looney Tunes. This is not like a cartoon in that way.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Jessica Rabbit.
Right.
I mean, Mama Boom. Yeah. But you're right. It was very complex, surprisingly complex.
Yeah.
But it was really good.
Yeah, one of the things that's amazing to me is how they were able to get like the Warner Brothers cartoons together with the Disney cartoons to appear in the same movie, which had never been done before or since, as far as I know. And also some like Max Fleischman characters and stuff, some of the other cartoon houses, animation houses, characters, all involved in this movie, which is great. It pays, a ton of homage to all the classic cartoon characters and classic Hollywood. And and it's also like an allegory for race and a whole bunch of things.
Yep, classism. And,
classism.
Yep.
And so, it's worth revisiting, I think.
I wonder, like, who knew who that they let all of those cartoon characters, those animated characters, live side by side.
Intermingle,
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like we brought up Wreck-It Ralph a couple episodes ago in passing, but it's the same idea of all of those video game characters coming together in one place. And these days, trying to get the rights to all of those things. Yeah. But this movie was made back in
the 80s,
Yeah. So I guess
I think the fact that you had Robert Zemeckis, who directed it, who the guy behind Back to the Future, and that massive franchise,
right?
So he had a lot of success on his hands, and he had Spielberg as one of his best friends and one of the producers, and it
was heavy hitters.
And Disney, it was a Touchstone movie. But Disney was the studio behind Touchstone.
Yep.
So you had some big players that were able to just make some calls around town and make it happen. And I guess they negotiated it like to the hilt, though. So it's like Bugs Bunny has to have the exact amount of lines as Mickey Mouse. So it was like really but it's amazing that even with all that kind of hand wringing, it's still worked out. It still turned out to be a great movie.
Well, yes. And I also feel like Warner Brothers is like, it's beloved, but it's also always just happy to be asked. Like so many other cartoon like groups have taken over so much that it's like, oh, you remembered us. Cool. Thanks. I appreciate that. Well,
yeah. I mean, and this was before like stuff like Space Jam and Tiny Toons and stuff where they really had this kind of renaissance. So yeah, it's a cool movie, and I'm glad I had the chance to revisit it. And I feel like now as an adult, I have a much deeper understanding of it than I did as a kid.
There you go. Okay.
So how about you? Did you see anything fun or interesting?
So I started watching. So 2 things. I'm not good at multitasking. I started watching Parks and Rec. That's an ongoing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So that is a bit of a cultural blind spot in that it really, so many people like adored that show.
Absolutely,
and like the cast is just crazy.
Right.
And, I'm like, oh, okay.
And all those people went on to big time stuff.
Yeah, and some of them are already.
Some of them were already big time, and they were revitalizing their career by being on that show.
Yep.
But but the people that weren't already big time, like Aubrey Plaza, went on to be big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's been really fun. So I don't typically watch like series. So I started back like season 1, the pilot.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay. So that's one of those things that it feels like an awakening of like, oh, here's how it is. And I didn't realize that Chris Pratt was in it right from the beginning. Like, just things that I'm like, oh, so it was nice. It's nice getting to know the origin story.
Right.
So the other thing that I started was Scary Movie.
That's a big one.
And
that's one that I still, I've never seen, but it is one of those ones that people talk about all the time, and it spawned like 3 sequels or whatever and a reboot already. So, yeah.
Well, and I think I've shared, like, I am not a horror movie gal.
But
like,
this is supposed to be
it's a
kind of
parody.
a satire of that. But it ended up becoming a horror movie in itself, even with the initial idea of it being satire.
Right.
Yeah.
And so started watching it, and I was just like, oh, this is kind of perfect. This feels like the abridged version of all of the horror movie tropes with like the character Carmen Electra like running, where it's like safety, death.
And isn't like Wes Craven behind it?
This one is the Wayans, isn't it?
No, I think they parodied Scary Movie, or
I think I'm watching I think it's Scary Movie that I'm watching.
Oh, okay.
This is the parody.
Well,
now we
hang
gotta
on.
look this up
because
oh my gosh,
because the original thing that they were parodying was already supposed to be a parody.
Yeah, this Scary Movie is what I'm watching.
You're watching Scary Movie, okay.
So I'm watching Scary Movie, and
okay, from 2000.
Yes.
Okay.
And
well, what's the damn franchise that it's based on?
I don't know.
Drew Barrymore.
Oh, isn't that the no, it's not Scream.
Scream. Okay, so Scary Movie is a parody of Scream, which was already a parody.
Yes.
Or a satire, anyway.
Yes.
So, okay. So that's what I was thinking of was Scary Movie. Not Scary Movie, but Scream.
Yes.
Which is a scary movie.
Yes.
But is also a parody of. So you watched on purpose, you watched a Wayans Brothers movie.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I did. Because here's the thing. As somebody that doesn't like a scary movie.
So to be fair, for me, Scream was the franchise I was thinking like maybe I should check that out. Scary Movie, I don't know that I have the interest in it. I'm not going to watch White Chicks either. But okay, go on. I'm sorry.
Well, it's a great way to sort of understand some of the the humor that people talk about with horror movies, right? Like the cute teenagers, like being alone in the house, answering the phone, like the dumb choices that in these movies the kids always make. And so they just they point it out. So as I said, there's Carmen Electra, she's running out of the house, and there's 2 signs, and it's one is pointing to safety, one is pointing to death, and she's like, oh, and runs towards death. And then there's the scene where she's running through the sprinkler, and of course it becomes oh, my clothes fell off and I'm running. Just these funny things that people point out about these horror movies that they're like, oh my gosh, it's jump scares and it's ridiculousness. But I understand now why people like some of these, because they're so stupid. But it's kind of a good way. I'm not done with it, not because it's long, but just because I was like, this is stupid. But I will finish. It's kind of a great way to understand some of the tropes without having to watch all the movies. I'm like, oh, okay, this is touching on a bunch of the different things that happen in these movies, and the classic storylines, the classic bad guys, the classic teenage responses to these. So it's silly, it's perfect.
All right,
for what I'm trying to do.
There was a movie in the 80s called Student Bodies that I watched at one point that is very similar to this concept.
Mm-hmm.
But I gotta say, if you like the funny mixed with the horror, Shaun of the Dead you still need to see.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay.
Because that is in itself just a good movie, but also is very funny. So I think we're getting closer to spooky season.
We're getting closer.
Yeah, that may be one you should
that might have to be on my
out.
list. Yeah. I mean, this is a good way to cut my teeth, right?
Sure.
It's just typically for me watching any kind of a scary movie, it's the music and the jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm just like, no, nope. And yeah, but this was just, so far it's been silliness. So I feel like by watching this movie, I'm actually watching an entire genre of film.
Okay.
So not true.
Put in a blender.
Yeah. Yes.
And then what comes out is, yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bloody and
A little
convoluted.
bit of a mess, but sure.
Yeah. So that is my other cultural blind spot. So
All right.
working on Parks and Rec.
And horror movies in general are a big cultural blind spot for, I think, for both of us, really, but especially you.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Yeah, for sure. Like, I can count on 3 fingers the number of horror movies that I've watched. Actually, 2.5. Yeah. So I look forward to doing some more, because now I have to do some parallel work, because Parks and Rec is going to take me a while.
But my question is, do you understand the jokes then in Scary Movie if they're like satirizing stuff that you've never seen?
Yeah, because it seems like those are the things that sort of rise to the top of like what people talk about.
Sure.
So this is why the whole cultural blind spot thing is interesting, because you've maybe never seen Gone with the Wind, but you know she makes a dress out of the curtains.
Yeah.
And so there are...
No, I don't.
You don't?
No.
Are you kidding
I
me?
thought that was Carol Burnett that did that.
Because that's what she did.
But I thought that was the joke, that it was curtains with a curtain rod and not a fancy dress.
But in the original one, she needed fabric because they were poor.
Okay. See, I had no idea about this.
Yeah. And so,
Which just
she
proves
did
my
it,
point. Like, sometimes I don't get the reference
Okay.
because I've never seen it. So.
Well, I've never seen it either, but I knew that in the book and subsequently the movie, it's like she needed fabric because they were on hard times, and so she made clothing. And Carol Burnett, why it was funny is because she left the curtain rod in.
Yes, which is very funny.
Right.
Yes.
So I think I know enough with some of these movies that I'm like, oh, this is referencing like this or that or whatever.
Now, so many of these things, I know the satire, but I don't know the original thing. And then when you find out the original thing, you go, oh, really? It was just that?
Yeah, right. Which is, it's like, and whether it is like Carol Burnett being brilliant enough to just like blow up this idea and like the line of like, oh, I like your dress. Oh, thanks. I saw it in the window.
That's great.
I mean, it's just like, those are the comedy genius or the drama genius that people can pick up, and this little seemingly innocuous thing and turn it into something that's so memorable.
No doubt.
Ugh, so good.
All right. Well, we are out of time for this segment. And by the way, we're still accepting questions for Dear Krabby at asking@don'taskmetotalk.com. And we're going to bring back Dear Krabby in the future with kind of a fresh new take on her, I guess, him, whatever you want. Them. Yes. This imaginary advice columnist character that is really just us riffing on advice.
Don't tell them.
Well, we've laid that out from the beginning.
Oh, right.
I don't even have to give the spoiler alert on this. Just listen to the older shows and you would know.
It's satire.
Just in case anybody was like, oh, what? My favorite segment that I've never communicated to them was my favorite segment. Don't worry. It's coming back in the future.
Totally.
So, but we do got to take a break, and then we got to get into the top topic for today, which is smart or lucky. Find out what that's all about, you lucky smart people, when we come back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
Hey, and I'm feeling lucky. I'm Stacy Heller.
Well, good. I'm feeling smart.
Oh, good. That's one of us.
Which, by the way, is the topic for today, smart or lucky. Each week, we select a new topic with the help of the Wheel O Topics, and then we basically just riff on it. But you're the person that comes up with the topics that we put on the wheel, And I always like to find out what the inspo behind you selecting a particular topic to add to the wheel was.
So, Pete, my husband, he always says something good happens, whether it's professionally or like just life in general. He'll always say, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, which for him means like smart, right? Knowing what's going on. And it's just this constant like running joke that we have. And I thought, yes, sometimes it is better to be lucky than smart. But which is better? Is it better to be lucky all the time? Is it better to be smart? Like if you had to be one or the other, like because I feel like being smart takes a lot of work. Yes. And being lucky maybe doesn't take as much work, but then also there's angst that comes with being smart and you're overthinking things and getting in your head, where I feel like being lucky is more like, whatever happens. So I naturally decided this would make an interesting conversation.
All right.
So, I mean,
it's interesting as a topic of conversation because I don't really feel like we get a choice in either thing of whether we're smart or lucky. I mean, it's just something that happens, I think, and there's a difference, of course, between being learned and being smart,
Right.
You can educate yourself and be more developed that way. But if you're dumb, you're going to be a dum-dum probably regardless of how much you read. But it certainly doesn't hurt.
Well, and this comes up especially because I talk lots and lots about the lake house that we have, that while most people were adopting pets or learning how to make sourdough or perfecting a good cocktail during the pandemic, we ended up buying this lake house in August of 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of got lucky. It's right near the Canada border. So a lot of the Canadians that owned cottages, they couldn't come and stay at the cottage. Nobody knew how long anything was going to be.
Right.
It was clear that it wasn't going to end in a minute. That concept had long since passed.
Yeah.
And sadly, the folks that we bought our particular place from were going through a separation and divorce.
Yeah.
And so it ended up being this really lucky thing that the house that we had rented came up for sale, and we were like, let's do this. We're not really that spontaneous, especially with like a financial investment like that, but it was a really good deal. And so now as we see, the prices that these sell for and the appreciation and how much we love it, we feel so lucky.
Sure.
And we don't feel like it was a smart choice that we made. We feel like, because then when people hear like what we bought it for and then they come to visit and they see how amazing it is, they're like, man, you guys were so smart. And we're like, yeah. And this is where the actually, we really feel like we were lucky. And with luck, are you like smart enough to take advantage of it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can they be one or the other? Is one always with the other?
Right.
What is that expression about? Like even a blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so
even a broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. So
unless it's digital, but
all of that.
Sure.
And so it just sort of begs the question of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if you can answer the question or if go ahead.
I was just going to say, I feel like I've been pretty lucky in my life in a lot of respects. Like you mentioned, the pandemic, for instance, a lot of companies downsized quite a bit. A lot of people I knew were out of work. And yet I kept my job and I was busier than ever.
Yeah.
And so in a way, and it really didn't have anything to do with what career I chose, because who could predict in 20 years in we'd be in a pandemic and all these industries would be like pausing or shutting down, or
Right.
Some were working harder than ever. And so I got lucky in the respect that I kept my job, kept working, and was able to continue to pay for everything. But on the other hand, I sometimes feel like, boy, if I got like a couple year break there, kind of would have been nice, There was all these people that were able to, stay at home and maybe get a little stipend and pay their bills, and at the same time develop, their interests, and start new companies and stuff like that.
Right.
Whereas I didn't have that chance because I was, as busy as ever. But at the other side of that is that, I didn't have to, really strive to find some new thing or stress out that I was never going to work again. So in that respect, I felt very lucky. But was that a smart or lucky? I guess lucky. So,
Well, it's interesting because you were smart to lean into a career that you enjoyed, right? And that is going to have some longevity because you're always, at least knock on wood, like going to need a place that there's communication, there's like whether it's news or podcast or music or whatever it is, right? And so you've developed those skills. So that was smart. Then it turns out how lucky that while everybody else couldn't work.
Yeah, I kind of also feel like anything could go away now with AI. Even though, as we talked about, it's really bad. It's not anywhere near what the people that are pro AI say it is. It makes huge blunders all the time. It's riddled with bad information. It's the artistic stuff that it does is maybe what it does best, and yet that looks terrible, But any job, I feel like, could disappear at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like it's lucky that my life has existed on a timeline mostly pre-AI.
Yeah.
And that I've been able to eke out a career before it's yanked away. Not to get too doom or gloomy.
No, but
it's that fall melancholy that we talked about before.
You just need a little pumpkin spice latte.
Yeah, I don't like.
I know you don't.
I don't mind pumpkin spice, but it's the latte part that I'm not down with. But I mean, it's so hard to find a point on it, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, because it's a combo. I think everything that happens in life is a combo of decision making and just luck.
Yeah, and I guess the thing that I would say is what is smart is to understand choosing opportunity, like those moments, right?
Yeah.
So that's what turns it to something that's more of a hybrid, because we got lucky that we went to this place and look, here we are. This turns out this is amazing. And whoa, it turns out that the house that we loved renting came up for sale. And then when we did an inspection of the house, turns out there was a whole extra bedroom we didn't even know about. Like, it was just this whole series of things. But while we were lucky, what was smart is that we seized the moment. We seized the opportunity. We trusted our gut. And so
you carpe diemed.
We carpe diemed the F out of that. And, so I guess in a way it really is both. It's not really about, as you say, being learned or, being book smart. It's understanding that unlike AI, the human experience is really a combination of both.
Yes.
And that it's the lucky part or the gut part that AI will never be able to take away.
Right. Yeah. And I think people do got to understand that not everybody gets blessed with huge dollops of luck in their life, and they could be smart, they could work hard, and yet things could end up terribly for them. And being aware of how lucky you are in life, I think, is an important thing, because then you can have some empathy for other folks, that it's not all just, if you understand that everything that you've gained in life, if you're successful, doesn't necessarily come from you just made smart decisions, but understanding how you were lucky in those respects is, I think, a huge thing, because we got way too many people that are successful that think that they just, because they're so smart, because they're such hard workers, they're so slick, that's why they're successful. No, it's a huge dollop of luck with everything.
Right. You need to have humility and gratitude.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think, that makes a huge difference. And then you don't begrudge the people that seem like they're always lucky.
Right.
Like when there's
I kind of do, but
well, I mean, privately.
But you can also understand.
Privately,
you can also understand that, hey, there's a ton of people that you're way more lucky than, and you got to be grateful for what you have.
100%. Yeah, it's a, what's sort of a silly topic is sort of a thoughtful topic, because I think you need to realize that you're smarter than you think, that the things that you think are lucky, you've put yourself in that position to be, air quotes, lucky.
Yeah.
And it probably took hard work and saying yes or no to different circumstances to get you there. But definitely the humility and the gratitude are a huge part of it. So I feel like there's not necessarily an or. I feel like it's an and. Although if I had to choose between the two.
Oh, what you would rather be?
Yeah.
I think I'd go with lucky.
I'd go with lucky too.
Who doesn't want to get lucky?
And that's all we have time for.
It is, yeah. Let's find out what topic we'll be talking about next week.
All right. Maybe we'll get lucky.
I don't feel like we got lucky this time, because I was kind of hoping for water wet. But instead I got just above that, which was banned bottled water.
Yeah.
It's
the question of should we
ban bottled water? I get it. Okay.
Yep.
It's a good it's a good question.
Yeah. I mean,
we'll talk about it next week.
All right, let's do it. In the meantime, hey everybody, thanks so much for listening. Make sure you follow us, you like, subscribe, review, rate, comment, call, all of it.
We're feeling lonely on our Facebook page, so do find us there at Don't Ask Me to Talk. Thanks for listening. Have a smart and lucky week. We love you.
Lowe's knows how to get you ready for holiday hosting with up to 35% off select home decor. And get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, members get free delivery, haul-away, basic installation, parts, and a 2-year Lowe's protection plan when you spend $2,500 or more on select LG major appliances. Valid through 10/1. Member offer excludes Massachusetts, Maryland, Wisconsin, New Jersey, and Florida. Installed by independent contractors. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.